Welcome to Storybound, where we're about to dive into the world of Stormblood by Szal. This will be spoiler free and will only focus on settings, general thoughts, characters, and themes of the novel. Stormblood is packed with brutal action and is an emotional romp through a tightly packed sci-fi setting. It feels inspired by all great things sci-fi and even some 80s action movies. I wrote a review for this titled Blade Runner meets Crank meets Space Marines, and that's basically a quick header for what you get here. However, it only scratches the surface. This book has a ton to offer. We get everything mentioned above, and our protagonist and main character Vakov is in a place in his life that reminds me kind of very much of Doom Guy, but with a much larger personality. He's a tour de force, but has deep emotional ties to his friends, his brother, and his comrades. Vakov is what we know as a Reaper, a bio-enhanced soldier that is feared and loathed on the battlefield. Reapers are family, and it seems as though people who are outside of that bond share a fear and respect of the storm tech that courses through their veins. We also have scenes where we get detective work, massive Blade Runner vibes, deep emotional back and forths between characters, and tons of depth within the areas visited in the book. The city the novel primarily takes place in feels littered with life and grime, and I love the floor's contrasts, every neon sign, and every different biome on each floor. The storm tech works in parallel with the Reaper's suits, which have kind of adjusted specs and reflexes, HUD displays, and power enhancements. By having storm tech, these suits are actually tweaked beyond what a regular person could use because of the enhanced senses, and it works in unison with the storm tech. One thing I did not expect in this novel was how deeply and invested it would be in drug addiction, primarily through the use of storm tech. Stormblood is kind of praised as being this action-packed cyberpunk romp. However, it has a ton of deep moments dealing with the storm tech, other addictions, kind of war trauma, from both people who fought in the war and those who kind of experienced the war more passively, mixed throughout the novel. Since Stormblood is sci-fi and arguably cyberpunk, we get tons of cool tech. From everything from their PDAs, the HUDs in their suits, storm tech, the vapor smokes people tend to be hooked on, and of course, one particular AI bunny through this novel, the Rubiks. So Rubiks are kind of a general purpose AI, not kind of just to this particular rabbit, but this is kind of the caretaker of sorts that takes a form of a fluffy rabbit AI hologram that takes care of Vakov's new home through the novel, taking care of things like home defense, food printing, cleaning, that sort of thing, and just kind of a general presence within his home. Outside of the house, we have other additional tech, kind of guns that print their own rounds. They have print clips for their weapons. The biosuits that remind me of something like Guyver from the anime in the 80s. The HUDs in their displays. We obviously get some ships in here. Not a huge focus, but they are there. And we get some details of those within it. Some really cool colonies with multiple floors and various biomes. Honestly, this book is littered with detail. I love the setting. I love the brutal combat. Coincidentally, I asked online for a book that kind of fits this exact detail a few weeks ago for a sci-fi setting with bio armor, super soldiers, etc. No one really had any recommendations, but I saw a random post from Nick Reviews praising this book and its upcoming sequel, and it hit right where I needed to fill that bio-boosted soldier hole in my heart. So quick shout out to Nick Reviews. I'll link down below to his Twitter. Solid book if you like gritty, cyberpunk-inspired sci-fi with brutal combat, drug addiction, PTSD, testing the limits of how far family and friendships can go. Stormblood is a solid pick, and I highly recommend it. Thanks again for watching Storybound. This has been a review of Stormblood by Szal. Coming up, I'm currently reading Gideon of the Ninth, finally. And then we'll dive into Before They Are Hanged, book 2 of the first Law series. Should have Syrup Town arc for One Piece up next week. And if you're interested, please like and subscribe for more weekly story reviews. Thanks again, and as always, have a good one.